So what is the idea? So basically I will introduce some of the idea of the technique that we are going to work, and I would like you to think about throughout the 2 sessions. It's quite packed session. The idea is not to learn content, but to think about the content. How can we deliver the technique at different levels and touching different points at the same time in a logical way, as Sanjini said, in a developing, like one bit after the other, not just all the same or just kind of progression, understanding. And so the basic point that I would like to work is the idea that the Odissi vocabulary is sonic and kinetic at the same time. So really you cannot separate technique, the visual presence of the movement, from its direction and voice, from its sound, even if when we are apparently into a silence or in a pause. So this is the one idea. The other idea is how the 4 basic stances that we all know, Samabhanga, Abhanga, Tribhanga and Chok, develop in the quite complex movement vocabulary. So really, how do you start from just a standing position to such a complex articulation of movement? The other idea is that the vocabulary is based, of course, on the isolation of different body parts and the coordination of this. So how can we introduce this in the training? How can we isolate body parts, train them at the same time, then coordinate them so that fluidity develops with the training? And the other thing is the importance of geometries in the movement vocabulary, especially in the Nritta, of course, but then it builds also when we use it in anime, of course. So this idea of how can we instill in students the idea of embodying geometrical shapes and geometrical lines or lines. So this idea of purity of movement, which is there in the technique, the angles of the. So this idea of geometry, how can we teach this? How can we make them absorb? And yeah, so basically this. And then the other things that we wanted to emphasize during the session is that really I would like you to think every time the difference between a child and an adult learner. So how can we deliver this to a child? And how can we deliver the basic technique to an adult learner, which is very different as we have discussed.
So you attach, just tell them, just imagine there's a string attached to the front of your chest, and somebody's pulling it.
Yes.
And then the string is attached to the back, somebody's pulling it. And then the string is here, and somebody's pulling the string from here. So you have to move this part, not the shoulder or the head. So as the string is here, and somebody's pulling here, so is that, okay? And then, yeah.
Did you think something about adults or?
I always find that Tribhangi is quite, there's 2 different ways you can do that. Side or you squeeze.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to think of it like a pulley. One is squeezing, one is expanding, the other side is squeezing and expanding.
Yes.
We were talking about how it's difficult to get this movement compared to this movement. So what I often do for adults and children is to give some touch and get them to use their own hands. So using the ASIS, so your bony bit at the front there, and using your bottom ribs, and actually say, look, your finger and your thumb are going to get close together on one side, and they're further apart on the other, and then the opposite. So I know it's not very creative and fun, but I think that helps get the difference between this, where it's a stretch away on both sides, and this, where there's this. The image that Madhviji uses is quite gruesome, but I think it does work. And it's a pole through the centre of the sternum. And that pole doesn't move in space, it does not move side to side. You just rotate around it. And I think that gives a very clear image of that movement. That pole should not move side to side, it's not displaced. The rotation happens around it. So I think they're quite clear images to
That's
use.
very helpful, and the other thing we were thinking about is one of the challenges can be when particularly you're doing this and there's not sufficient movement. I often find that the weight of the body is not well centered. So that may be, so often you will find, if you try that, if you put your weight at the back, you'll find it's very difficult. But if you bring the weight a bit in the middle, it becomes significantly easier. So that is one, so centering, and the other thing I also feel is the tummy. So the tighter all of these muscles are, If you keep them loose, this is difficult. If you stretch, the first exercise you did when you said walk around, and you said you feel yourself elongated. So if you feel yourself elongated and the tummy at night, this becomes much easier.
Lighter.
So for adults.
And then there's Carolyn dolls as well. They're
Yes,
quite nice
I nearly
image.
brought one today.
What are they?
If I could have. They show the and then the waist moves. And in fact, when we did the CD-ROM, we sort of showed that these are the main regions: the neck, the chest, the waist, the hip, and those are the horizontal, which contrasts with the vertical, where the major movements are. So if you're standing here in front of the chest, so this is the area, and then the hip. So this is the other area. So the doll moves. I don't think it moves in the hip, but it moves in the waist.
In the waist.
It moves in the neck.
It shows that opposition, how the
Yeah.
Prima Veda opposes the torso movement. So it's because the two come together, and actually people who can't get the neck movement by itself will sometimes get it in opposition to the torso movement.
Yes.
I mean, just to complicate matters slightly, is this issue which, is you may come to it later, is of the Viparita and the, where this is the normal.
Yeah.
And then of course this is the...
You have some exceptions.
Yeah, that's
There are
right.
some exceptions.
Of course, there is also an element of learning which is you cannot analyze.
You cannot.
So children or whatever learners just have to see. So you cannot break down so much because then it becomes too mechanical. So there is something that also depends on the person, on the actual dancer, how he looks better.
No, the teacher, I think they just imbibe what the teacher has.
Just so that you can, and again it depends on the context, it depends on the floor. You can actually do a floor work exercise where you're pulling so you keep both feet so you're like on the floor like that, so you're drawing, I'll do it. So you're drawing that. So you're actually, you can't work. The knee and the elbow have to work in conjunction, but there's a lot of teaching in that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that it has to be 2D. So there's there's quite a lot of teaching, but it's great.
Actually, if I can add on
But she's really using the limbs to help that movement.
So the knee bend is
Drawing the elbow and the knee together.
So you're gathering or concertina inside the body. I think it's very important with the terminology, if you're working upright, that you know where the tummy is and where the belly is. The tummy is the stomach, isn't it? So pulling in the stomach is not, in my opinion, is not helpful.
Yeah.
So if you're going up, all it is the abdominal muscles are sheathing the spine. Because otherwise you're going to have painful, like that.
What I do in my class is we children sit so it's all packed, not moving.
And the hips can't move.
Yeah. So and the elbows are in line with your ears. They shouldn't actually, come forward or backward. So 1, 2. So this is how I start teaching children, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So
this is really
regular what I do.
Yes. So you can balance the energies in the class. Like this is very slow.
Yes.
So you can do it for 1 minute with children. But depending on your class, depending on actual students you are teaching to, you can use different energies as well.
So actually it's a very good point from here to move to the basic stances, because we've been talking about starting with the Samabhang, where you feel the weight of the body equal on both sides.
Yeah.
And if you imagine a line from the top of your head is dividing the body into 2 equal parts. And here we are engaging the abdomen, so that I'm just taught to just, if you say, it's very light. You can breathe. You're breathing. You're not holding yourself down. But just the muscles here are engaged. And from the top of your head is that golden thread which travels up beyond the room and into infinity. So you've got the pull up there, and you've got this idea of all your toes are open, the whole of that foot is making contact with the ground. This is engaged, and you are in that first position, the sama. And it's nice to teach the meaning of sama. Sama means equal, and the weight of the body is equal on both feet. So at some point in the class, towards the beginning of the class, just letting
Go.
Students, kids, adults, just stand in there. And then we're just shifting the weight on one foot and just allowing a slight curve of the head. And you might ask them to bring one hand towards the center and the other hand in dola, which again is just echoing the curve of the hip. So just there, and that's balanced with the knee on the other side. So moving into, and it might be quite nice to show some imagery. We thought it might be quite nice to use visual aids. So when we're moving from the Abhanga, and also to make them aware of the head. There's a slight tilt of the head over the hip. Moving to Tribhanga. So here I like to give very exact instructions that the front foot is turned out 180 degrees, the back foot 145, and the line of placement is at the midpoint between the back foot and this heel. So if you draw a line from there, it should be somewhere in the midpoint.
Just a slight variation, because obviously different styles, different teachers. Yeah. And what Madhuri would teach is that you would not keep it 180, you would actually keep it just at the corner.
Equal from the Paritta.
Yeah.
And then you move it forward, so you haven't got more turnout from one leg, the turnout is equal. That's how she teaches.
And almost the corner, wherever your corner is.
But I would find that a little
I think whatever
too much.
suits, whatever,
Yeah.
So
Anyway, with other things we can.
And I think, again, it's really important, I think, to document and to note that part of this syllabus work is going to have to incorporate all the various styles and everything, as long as there is a standard which one can measure to. Because you
Absolutely.
can't
I think here we have to bring the body and the turnout, which I wanted to say, that we are going to be looking now at the turnout. Not everyone has the perfect 180-degree turnout, so you have to suit your body. And we'll be bringing back all the principles we looked at last time of the knee being over the feet, over the toes. And also being aware of the body weight. The body weight is on the back foot, so you should be able to lift this foot off. So here is the triangle position, and we thought for children it would be nice to show them. Just ask them to name where are the triangles. Where do you see the triangles? Nisha, where do you see the triangles? Come on, someone take.
Can we use, we can use this also if you want.
And you can come and...
I can have this tool that you can use with children. So how to teach, do you want to introduce the choker and the choker you want to use?
Yes, I just saw that one from, okay.
Yeah, and then we
the choker
can show them.
And then we can, so yeah, in Tripanda very much making them aware of what are the different triangles.
So where are the triangles? Sorry, I'm lost.
I want you to connect to the choker. Yes.
And then we're going to move into the chauka, which we go into a V. Parallel, turn out, bend the knees. Make sure you're engaging your abdominal muscles and the pelvic, as we said last time, the neutral pelvic. You're neither leaning back nor forward. your spine has the natural curve there. And then with the arms, you are making a right angle at the elbow. Hands are turned into a right angle. And a beautiful straight line from the shoulder to the elbow. Elbow where it turns into a right angle. And I would like you to notice right angles everywhere in the room. Like in the door, where the door meets the wall, where anything which is stuck on the wall meets the base or meets the, and everywhere, doors, windows, mirrors. It was a kind of a revelation for me. It's basic geometry.
Can I ask a question? Because invariably this is the toughest one to get, and it goes down. And all I can think of, unfortunately, in class is shoulders up. And so can you think of something better?
I can share mine.
Yes,
so
please.
first of all, I say we are going to be warrior if it's children. So we're really going to be super strong. As you relax the muscle, it's obvious, especially when you're dancing. You have to feel like, super strong. If I pass and I want to push down, you're not going to let me pass.
Okay. Yeah.
So can you try it, please? So I'm going to pass. No, like this I can pass. No, you're going to stay there. Yeah, see? No, you're going to stay there. Very stuck. No. So just something like this, playing a bit, no?
I think the string is a very useful idea because what happens often is a bit of overaction of the trapezius and you get this happening, the elevation here, and you don't want that.
Just do that. What? Push it down.
I then find that they activate more. Like I don't think that because
Pushing down,
you need to find the lightness.
By all the different triangles.
Yeah, actually let's start from Sama. Wait a second. So Sanjivini, can you please stand in Sama?
Okay.
So what we are going to do, if you have children, what kind of geometrical shape will you use to describe this form? Can you please show me, look at all the body and show me which one will you use?
The full body.
Yes. Yes. Is there some other shape that you can maybe use? Think well. Look at the body also parts. Some parts of the body. Yes. Look at this. Parvati. Should we see it? Okay. This is small one, and if you want to draw the big one. Let's see what else. Is there something else?
Five-sided one.
Yes. Should we also try to combine some of them? Can you try to combine some of them? And triangle. Yes. Lovely.
Yeah.
You were thinking before.
Yes. You see, you can. Katie has done this, but also this is correct because the feet are so close that actually it's kind of pointing depending on the body structure, obviously, no? So you can play with this. Can you show me the head? Yes, look at this. This is really nice. Is there another option? Maybe this?
So, Elena, how would this help? How would all this help?
Understanding how you embody clarity of
And
lines.
space as well.
Yes. So it's not really about I am doing a square. It's about I am embodying something which is very clear and understood. So, and it's in a playful way to look at the body. Children, by looking, they learn. They kind of analyze without analyzing. They are matching images which are abstract to bodies which are real. So by doing this matching gradually, they develop embodied awareness of what is a line, what is a square.
Before about actually where was the duck position, which wasn't answered.
Yes, I was going to answer.
Is it not that it just is to do with the hip alignment?
That's
The
a
heel
hip.
is dropped underneath the
It is.
hip, so that is very clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So whether you have to adapt that
To a
because
person's
you're
body.
because the person's body, but that surely is.
Yes.
And maybe the one that we were speaking about last time, the importance is for the knee to be somewhere there.
But then there's this wonderful thing
Yeah.
with feet I love it, and I sort of only just discovered it. But you can divide the foot into two. You've got the ankle foot and the heel foot, and the knee is always in alignment in here. And I think that's a great image. So you go, oh, look, drop a plumb line there. That's dropping there, or that's dropping there. It's not there.
Actually, your trousers are perfect for that.
Yeah, because you get the crease.
What does that mean?
There's so much teaching though, isn't there? Really?
No, but that is something that's very important for teachers.
Yeah.
So
I think the anatomy is the anatomy.
We did an excellent session with Katie last week where we looked at that.
Yeah.
And that's
sorry, I don't want to.
No. What you're saying is absolutely right. You're underlining the most important principle of the Chalaka, which is this idea of following the line from the hip down the middle of the knee.
I suppose it is the middle of the hip joint.
I think the thing that tends to happen is people think their hips are here. No. And we're actually talking about the hip joint.
Yeah.
Joint. Yes. And that's what's important.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that.
I have a slightly more, mine is wider than my hip joint. I dance.
But I think that's, if you say that, then that's fine.
And yours is already on the hip joint.
I think, can I just wrap everything around? Do you want to say something?
No, just think, the still hip joint is a very difficult one. I'm not sure what exactly.
The ball and socket joint.
That's somewhere in there.
Which is very
Actually, if I can add, when I teach, I really think the first thing that I teach people is to really focus on this hip joint. In all of the stances, these are actually the joints where the movements develop. From Samabhanga, they are like, if we have two poles or two radar here, they are just like this. In Abhanga, one is going to go slightly down. In Tribhanga, they still have to be front, because if they are like this, you are getting a wrong Tribhanga. So they are the same, but one is going to be slightly more down, but they are frontal, they are like looking frontal, like twice. In Chok, the same as you said. There are some style differences. Some style have it slightly smaller, some style bigger. The reason why some style have made it smaller is just for efficiency of movement, but obviously when you learn something for a long time...
Is it called a different thing?
No, it's the same.
It's the wider one, because she does in that book.
No, that's
Mahapad.
So the way I teach this, I always say to people, especially to adults, this is not math, it's dance. So we have an idea, but then we need to adjust to the beauty of the body. So according to the hips, how wide are the hips? How heavy or lighter is the body? You need to find that comfortable and clean position. So leaving that space for not getting the brain stuck like this is a choke. No, if it looks like I am small, so I open it a bit more so it looks more spacious. For somebody who has very long limbs, there is no need for that, perhaps. So there, I leave a bit of adjustment. So this is maybe we can just wrap.
So just this exercise where you go down to 4 counts. 2, 3.
I can say that in 1, 2, 3.
Can we do this?
Yeah. So give us the tala.
1, 2, 3, stop. And ta. Ithi. Kartakate te ta. Ithi. Kartakate te ta. Ithi. Kartakate te dhai dhai nanti. Kartakadhina double ta. Ithi. Na kartakate te ta. Ithi. Na kartakate te ta. Ithi. Up kartakate te dhai dhai nanti. Kartaka third speed ta a. Ithi. Kartakate te ta a. Ithi. Kartakate te ta a. Ithi. Kartakate te dhai dhai ti. Kartakadhina kita ta.
Okay.
And ta. Ithi. Kartakate te. Ithi. Kartakate te. Ithi. Kartakate te. Hey, now ti. Kartakadhina double a. Ithi. Kartakate te. A. Ithi. Kartakate te. A. Ithi. Kartakate te. Dhina ti. Kartakadhina triple a. Ithi. Kartakate te. A. T. Perfect. T. A. T.